If he needs our help, he's got it. Right, team?
Right!
The space monitor.
Remember when 5 robot lions combined to form the ultimate defender of the universe? Voltron wasn't just a cartoon about space heroes fighting evil.
Form Blazing Sword!
It was a Frankenstein mess of death, controversy, and corporate deception that traumatized an entire generation.
I did it, Tao, didn't I?
Today, we're counting down 20 disturbing facts about Voltron that proved your childhood was a lie. 20. The show wasn't even original. The robot wasn't created, it was stolen. Voltron was actually 2 Japanese anime shows chopped up and dubbed by World Events Productions.
Voltron! Form Blazing Sword!
They bought Beast King Go Lion footage for pennies on the dollar, changed entire storylines to avoid paying royalties, and created a new show by stitching together someone else's work. WEP made millions, while the original creators got nothing. Corporate creativity at its finest. 19. The voice actors were paid slave wages. The defenders were actually being exploited. Voice actors earned between $50 and $100 per episode in 1984, with 0 residuals despite the syndication goldmine. Some actors voiced 6+ characters per episode, while WEP raked in millions from merchandising. The people bringing Voltron to life literally couldn't afford rent. Your heroes were starving artists getting robbed blind. 18. The animation was literally falling apart. The quality was actually dangerous. Episodes aired with missing frames, wrong colors, and animation errors because deadlines were so tight that Japanese animators worked 18-hour shifts. Multiple hospitalizations for exhaustion occurred during production. Some episodes accidentally mixed footage from completely different series. Children were watching a show that was killing its creators in real time. 17. The toys were more toxic than villains. The merchandise was actually poisonous. Original die-cast Voltron toys contained lead paint that caused a 1985 recall affecting over 500,000 units. Children's blood lead levels spiked in test markets across America. Matchbox covered up the contamination for 6 months while kids played with toxic metal. The real enemy was in your toy chest all along. 16. Kids couldn't tell which Voltron was which. The confusion was actually intentional. 2 completely different Voltrons aired simultaneously, Vehicle Voltron versus Lion Voltron, confusing an entire generation of viewers. WEP did this deliberately to sell double the merchandise to unsuspecting parents. Thousands of complaints flooded networks about bait-and-switch toy marketing. Your childhood confusion was calculated corporate manipulation. 15. The theme song was stolen. The music wasn't original either. The composer literally borrowed the melody from the Japanese original without permission. A lawsuit was settled out of court for an undisclosed amount in the 6 figures. The original composer was never credited in the US version, and publishing rights battles lasted until 1992. Even the most iconic part of the show was stolen property. 14. They edited out dozens of deaths. The censorship was actually insane. Original Go Lion showed graphic pilot deaths, decapitations, and dismemberment that WEP replaced with characters being sent to another dimension. Over 47 death scenes were cut or digitally altered. Blood was removed frame by frame at enormous cost. You were watching sanitized carnage, and your parents had no idea. 13. Princess Allura was originally a boy. The gender swap was marketing. The Japanese version had a male pilot named Takashi Shirogane, but WEP changed the character to a girl to sell toys to female demographics. The voice actress didn't even know about the gender swap initially.
Give it up now, and the princess won't be harmed.
Don't believe him! Get away!
This created continuity errors in over 30 episodes that eagle-eyed fans noticed immediately. Your representation was actually corporate calculation. 12. The space mice were censorship band-aids. The cute characters were actually cover-ups. Space mice were added to fill time gaps from violent scenes being cut.
I know. Of course you're upset that your children got in trouble.
Japanese animators were genuinely confused why Americans wanted random mice inserted. Each mouse sequence cost $15,000 per episode to animate from scratch. The most annoying characters existed only to hide death and violence. 11. An episode about slavery actually aired. The content was shockingly dark. Episode 17 showed enslaved aliens in literal chains working in mines. Parents' groups filed over 2,000 complaints to networks and sponsors. Major advertisers threatened to pull funding entirely from the show. The episode was pulled from syndication rotation for 8 years, but somehow aired initially uncensored. 10. The show predicted real space disasters. The timing was eerily suspicious. An episode about a catastrophic space station explosion aired just months before the 1986 Challenger disaster. The similarities traumatized viewers who'd watched both events. NASA actually requested specific episodes be pulled from rotation indefinitely. Conspiracy theorists still claim CIA involvement in the production, and honestly, the timing is suspicious as hell. 9. A child died reenacting the show. The tragedy was preventable. A 7-year-old boy fell from his roof in 1985 wearing makeshift wings, trying to form Voltron with neighborhood kids. His parents sued World Events Productions for $3.2 million. Networks added warning disclaimers only after the incident made national news. One child's death finally made them care about consequences. 8. Voice actor Jack Angel had a breakdown. King Zarkon's voice was actually suffering. Jack Angel voiced the main villain during a severe personal crisis and mental health breakdown.
You make it sound so simple. Have you forgotten the strength of Voltron, the mightiest robot in the universe?
He was hospitalized for exhaustion mid-production, but the director literally forced him to finish episodes from his hospital bed. Angel later said the show represented the darkest period of his entire life. The villain's voice was genuine anguish. 7. The blazing sword was a censored execution weapon. The heroic weapon was actually brutal. The original Japanese sword literally cut enemies in half with graphic bisection and dismemberment shown on screen. The US version transformed it into an energy beam weapon to hide the violence. Child psychologists called it sanitized violence that was somehow more disturbing. Your heroes were using a censored execution tool disguised as energy. 6. Animators in Japan were dying. The production was actually killing people. The studio confirmed 3 animator deaths from karoshi, literal death from overwork, during Voltron production. 80 to 100-hour work weeks were standard operating procedure. One animator had a fatal heart attack at his desk, and his final frames appeared in episode 34. You were watching a show that cost human lives. 5. The producer embezzled millions. The money was disappearing. WEP executive Ted Koppler faced serious fraud allegations for diverting $4.7 million from merchandising revenue into secret offshore accounts. The scheme was discovered in 1988 during a routine audit. He settled the civil suit and somehow avoided prison time entirely. The show's profits were funding someone's private empire. 4. The show was military propaganda. The Pentagon was actually involved. Declassified documents revealed that the Department of Defense consulted on storylines specifically designed to promote military recruitment to children. Defense contractors sponsored specific episodes with pro-military messaging. Subliminal Join the Armed Forces content was confirmed through FOIA requests years later. Your cartoon was literally government propaganda disguised as entertainment. 3. Sven's injury was actually his death. The character was killed off. In the original Japanese version, Sven's character was graphically killed in battle with blood and gore. US censors couldn't explain his sudden disappearance, so they created the awkward Hospital Planet storyline that made zero sense. Voice actor Neil Ross didn't even know his character was supposed to be dead. Your favorite pilot was a censored corpse. 2. A voice actress was abused during production. The studio covered up assault. An anonymous voice actress reported harassment and physical abuse by a director during recording sessions. She was allegedly forced to record romantic scenes while being inappropriately touched. She filed a formal complaint that was immediately buried by studio executives. The settlement included a lifetime NDA that kept her silent for decades. 1. Children were hospitalized from seizure-inducing flashes. The show was medically dangerous. Episodes 23 and 31 contained rapid color-flashing sequences that hospitalized 47 children with seizures in 1985 alone. The studio absolutely knew about photosensitive epilepsy risks before airing. The episodes were never pulled from rotation, just quietly re-edited years later without acknowledgement. They chose profits over hospitalized children every single time. From toxic toys to Pentagon propaganda, from animator deaths to covered-up abuse, Voltron wasn't just 5 lions forming the universe's defender. It was a corporate machine that chewed up creators, exploited children, and buried tragedies for profit. This show proved that not everything from the 80s deserves nostalgia. Until next time, remember, let's not form Voltron. Don't forget to subscribe for more dark truths about your childhood.